At the start, we see a young lady, nearly bare of clothing, hurriedly sprinting down the road. She appears to flee from something strange chasing her. Frantically seeking shelter, she bolts into her home, where her dad stares at her with a confused look. After a few moments, she leaps into her vehicle and drives to the shore. Later at the coast, she phones her father to say she loves him. The next day, the mangled body of the girl is discovered on that same shore, quite similar to Kim, alias Candace, from Final Destination 5. Then we follow Jay, a university student relaxing in a hot tub, getting ready for a night out with her new partner, Hugh. As she rests, her sister Kelly eagerly tells her that their pals Paul and Yara have asked them to join a film night. Kelly urges Jay to come along, but Jay refuses, saying she's heading out. We glimpse her friends briefly, and naturally, the only male friend in the group seems to fancy Jay, so he's not too happy about her upcoming date. As the night progresses, Jay and Hugh play a fun game, taking turns picking a person from the crowd they secretly wish to swap lives with, daring each other to guess their chosen person. When Hugh points at a girl in a bright dress, Jay looks at him with a puzzled face, stating she doesn't see anyone like that. Hugh quickly becomes more nervous and suggests departing. He remains distant for the rest of their outing. The next day, Jay takes a stroll with Kelly. As they walk together, Kelly notices Jay seems a bit troubled. She can sense something is upsetting her. It seems Hugh is behaving oddly. Jay wonders why Hugh would abruptly want to exit the theatre that night. Maybe he saw his old girlfriend. The doubt eats at Jay. Later that evening, Jay meets her boyfriend again. As their evening stroll ends, they find themselves in the car. They finally get intimate in the small, smelly vehicle. But after they finish, Hugh quickly exits the car to fetch something, while Jay gets distracted, talking about her childhood wishes. She doesn't know this distraction is exactly what Hugh wanted. He attacks her from behind and knocks her out, using chloroform to make her unconscious. When Jay finally wakes, she finds herself in a wheelchair, trapped in a deserted place. Her arms and legs are firmly tied, and Hugh stands nearby. Fear and confusion grip her as she frantically asks why he would do such a horrible thing. Hugh explains he's been cursed, forced to see a being that constantly chases him. He got the curse from a one-night fling. Shockingly, he reveals that during their close moment, he passed this curse to Jay. The curse appears as a shape-shifting creature that can take any form it wants. Hugh tells Jay that if the creature catches her, she too will face a tragic fate. He pauses his tale because he feels a presence near them. Together, they watch in shock as a naked woman rushes toward them. Instantly, Hugh pushes the wheelchair toward the car and continues his tale. He warns that the creature can appear anywhere, making it tough to escape its grasp. Hugh advises Jay to avoid rooms without quick exits. To break the curse, she must sleep with someone, as the next victim could be Hugh again if it kills Jay. Meanwhile, on the porch, Kelly, Paul, and Yara play a card game while chatting about their teenage issues. Suddenly, the car stops in front of the house. Jay's boyfriend quickly pulls the tired girl from the car and hurries off. Shocked to see Jay half-dressed and with her hands bound, Kelly immediately calls the police. After the victim is questioned, the officers carefully inspect the scene. They find the man used a fake name and disappeared without a trace. Overwhelmed by the trauma, the girl slips into depression, refusing to eat and staying silent. A few days later, while Jay sits in a classroom, she spots an elderly woman in a hospital gown nearing their building through the window. The woman's slow pace catches Jay's eye, but she soon realizes no one else can see her. Disturbed by the vision, Jay quickly leaves the college grounds. She heads to a cafe where Kelly and Paul work part-time. When she shares the tale of the old woman and Hugh's story, her sister dismisses it as mere fiction, believing Jay's mind is playing tricks due to severe emotional shock. Paul decides to stay at their house to offer support. Kelly suggests Yara join them, and the girl agrees. As night falls, Paul and Jay sit in the living room, recalling their childhood pranks. They also discuss their brief romance, where they were each other's first kiss. Their calm talk is suddenly interrupted by the sound of breaking glass. Paul heads to the kitchen to check, finding someone has smashed a window and fled. Worried, he goes to Kelly and urges her to call the police. Meanwhile, foolish Jay goes to inspect the kitchen and finds another naked, deformed woman who suddenly appears. She screams in terror. Startled, Jay races upstairs and locks the door. She only opens it after hearing Paul and Kelly. But when there's another knock later, she frantically begs her friends not to open it. They try to calm her, and upon opening it, they realize it's just Yara. Or is it? Suddenly, Jay notices a tall, eyeless man nearing her and bolts out of the house screaming wildly. The girl jumps on a bicycle and speeds through the streets, skillfully dodging obstacles in her path. Concerned for her safety, the friends chase after her, realizing she's completely losing her grip on reality. Eventually, they find her at an old playground. The commotion draws the attention of their handsome neighbor Greg, who joins the group. When Greg learns someone broke into Jay's house, he joins them to help. Through their search, they uncover the intruder's true identity, Jeff Redmond. Armed with this knowledge, they locate Jeff's address and visit him. When Jeff's mother answers the door, she calls for her son, who comes out to meet them. Jeff explains that the entity haunting them targets those who have been intimate with its previous victims. He admits he still sees the entity, realizing it hasn't forgotten him either. Jeff offers Jay a solution, quickly passing the curse by sleeping with someone else, thus buying time. Convinced the entity relentlessly pursues its victims, he suggests this as the only way. Jay feels discouraged and struggles to understand how to handle this.
Greg proposes a plan to seek shelter at his lakeside house, far from the city, to plan their rescue mission. Arriving at the lakeside spot, the group settles into the house, making themselves comfortable. Greg teaches Jay how to use a gun, just in case. Paul, meanwhile, struggles with the presence of a potential threat to his love life. Several days pass, and while enjoying time by the lakeshore, the creature takes Yara's form and slowly begins to attack Jay. Though her friends can't see the creature, they witness Jay's hair standing on end and her body being yanked side to side. Acting on instinct, Paul throws a chair at the entity, receiving a quick retaliatory strike. Jay immediately flees to the barn, desperate to protect herself. She grabs a revolver and tries to shoot the entity, but her efforts fail. Trapped in the barn without an escape route, she falls into despair. Suddenly, the door breaks, revealing Greg, but he quickly vanishes. Instead, the creature takes the form of Jay's young neighbor, crawling through a hole. Overwhelmed, Jay panics, flees the barn, and jumps into a car, speeding off in an unknown direction. Struggling to control the vehicle, Jay veers off the road and crashes through a cornfield. She loses consciousness from the impact and only regains it in the hospital that evening. Greg visits Jay. Despite not believing in the curse or creature, he decides to help Jay in his own way, unaware of what awaits him. A few days later, he visits Jay in the hospital, assuring her nothing strange has happened, filling her with relief. She clings to the hope that this nightmare will soon end. After Jay is released from the hospital, she withdraws into seclusion, keeping to herself. One evening, while staring blankly out the window, Jay spots Greg. He approaches his house and tries to open the door. When it won't budge, he breaks a window with a rock, determined to get inside. Jay's worry for her friend grows, pushing her to rush to his aid. She enters Greg's home and is shocked to find the guy's mother standing before her son's room, endlessly knocking on the door. Something feels wrong about the woman, as her appearance seems unnaturally twisted. Jay realizes it's not Greg's mother, it's the creature in disguise, trying to lure the unsuspecting man out. Filled with fear for her friend's safety, Jay desperately tries to warn Greg about the looming danger. However, he remains unaware and opens the door. In an instant, the creature seizes the chance, forcefully pushing Greg inside and launching a fierce attack. She sees the entity trying to harm a lifeless Greg. Overwhelmed by fear and shock, Jay quickly retreats to her car, desperate to escape the horror she's witnessed. She drives away, leaving the terrors of that night behind.
Once Greg's death sinks in, Jay grasps the horrifying truth. The creature will resume its relentless chase of her. Determined to outsmart her pursuer, she pushes herself to her limits, pressing forward. Finally, she reaches a point where she can go no further and falls asleep. Upon waking, the girl retreats to her home, seeking safety. Then one morning, Paul confesses his love for her and offers to help break the curse. Reluctant to endanger Paul's life, Jay initially refuses his offer. Undeterred, Paul devises a new plan to kill the creature. Their strategy involves luring the entity into a swimming pool and delivering an electric shock to stop it. Equipped with electrical devices, the group prepares for the crucial moment. Jay says,
After everything is ready, Jay bravely swims into the water, baiting the entity to spring the trap. Now they wait for it to arrive. To her dismay, the creature proves cunning, understanding their plan. It retaliates by throwing objects at its prey, pinning Jay beneath the surface. Paul seizes the moment, raising a gun to engage the creature. A stray bullet accidentally hits Yara, causing more chaos. With Jay's help to locate the creature, and after some struggle, the friends finally manage to cover the invisible entity with a white sheet. Determined to protect the girl, Paul steadies his aim and fires a decisive shot. The bullet pierces the entity's skull, causing it to fall slowly into the water. Desperate, the creature grabs Jay's leg, but a timely follow-up shot from Paul gives her precious seconds to escape its grasp. As the creature vanishes, the pool is left with a horrifying aftermath, its once clear waters now stained with blood. Back at home, Jay and Paul make love, hoping it will provide a way to eventually break the curse that has plagued her. Later, we find Paul eyeing some prostitutes, likely to pass on the curse. On his way back, days pass, and we see Yara recovering in the hospital. As the couple strolls along the street, holding hands casually, an eerie presence lurks in the shadows behind them. It still follows, and it will keep doing so.